welcome back to another episode of Doctor in a Bikini. This is the second video that I am posting to YouTube, episode 49 of Doctor in a Bikini, and I just completed my 10th show ever. Connor and I just returned today from Anaheim, so we are officially back in Arizona. So now it is time to focus on all of the new homeowner shenanigans. But first, I wanted to recap. I didn't even realize until I should have brought my little showcase over here for the video, but if you didn't know already, I save every button from every single show. So I have a little shadow box where I've pinned all of the little buttons in there. And I was arranging them today and I was like, oh my God, that was show number 10. And I didn't even make a huge deal about it. So that's crazy. I definitely told everybody backstage that it was my ninth show because apparently math is hard. And eventually, I swear, all the shows kind of blend together. They're all different, but at the same time, I don't know, 3 years of competing is a long time. And I guess I've reached that point, which is pretty freaking cool to have the privilege to say that I've done 10 shows. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a happy Monday. I know I just kind of dove in deep, but it is, what time is it? I don't even know. 7:45 at night, the night before. So I am feeling ready. I've been doing all these Sunday things, laundry, cleaning, meal prep, all the fun stuff. Um, but yeah, I wanted to dive a bit deeper into where I'm at because it's a very pivotal time as far as the competitor's journey goes. And I was saying to my husband, it's like, I have a lot of feelings, right? And he goes, yep, you do. You feel more than most. And I will say it never gets easier, which is why I wanted to hop on here to talk about it. It never gets easier despite how ready you think you are. And trust me, I was ready and I still am ready kind of to step away for the rest of the year. I mean, think about that. You do something, anything for 8 months in a row because we're about to hit the 8 month mark of the year, which is crazy. And then all of a sudden you're not chasing those same little goals along the way. And my coach said something that it's the title of the episode. It was so helpful for me. And I think focusing on this verbiage is going to help me so much tremendously. It's not an off season, it's a preseason. It's like, it's not goodbye, it's see you later. So I think the way we frame it is really valuable anytime we're stepping away from something because we need to prioritize where we're at in life. Because I think there's something to be said about having the courage to take a break and to step away because it almost feels more scary stopping, especially with where I'm at. I mean, I went from my first national show ever, I was 16th place, and that was actually USA's. And there, it was a huge class back in 2022. As you may know, if you're in the competing realm, the numbers have been dwindling down. There's still quite a few, but I think with the financial situation of our world and maybe potentially some of the confusion with the expectations in the industry, I'm not quite sure, but numbers have been down. So in 2022, huge class. You couldn't even see me in the lineup on the sides. I got 16th place, which was great. And then my next year, which was last year, amongst wedding planning, career change, all that fun shenanigans y'all heard me talk about, I got 14th at Amateur Olympia. So to go from that to back consistently at two different shows, fourth place and third place. I mean, oh, I didn't even say that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I got third place at USA's. So, man, my ADD brain. So let me back it up a little bit. Yes, I got third. If you don't know, USA's is one of the most prestigious, most competitive, sought out national shows out there. I mean, a lot of people dream about going to USA's, and I think sometimes I glaze over that, in natural Shannon fashion. I tend to do that sometimes about what seems simple or like falling short to me isn't really falling short. And I think I have to remind myself of that. So it's a very competitive show. So to go from 16th to third place this weekend was huge. If you're not familiar with it, basically the top two in every single class gets your pro card. So to say that I wasn't absolutely devastated and crushed and cried, I'd be a liar and I'd be claiming to not be human because, again, that just seems to be the theme. I think I'm going to cry at every national show no matter what, whether I do super duper well or maybe I didn't perform as expected. But yeah, as soon as I was holding center, I was splitting center, I should say, and at the very end they bumped me out. And if you've ever been there before, when you're getting off a stage, and this is something me personally, I don't ever do just because I am very hyper aware of the emotions of people around me. Don't get me wrong, this person absolutely has the right to celebrate. I'm just saying if it's me, for some reason, that's not me. So the people that were splitting center and that did get bumped to the center as we're filing off stage are already pre-celebrating. You know, one of them's crying. And to me, I'm like, I just want to crawl into a ball. I'm pretty sure I'm third, but I'm not totally sure. There's still a chance. But then when I saw the looks on the two coaches that were there backstage with me, it kind of confirmed that it probably wasn't my day. So yeah, I I cried with my coach, and then I saw my husband, and I mean, it was just, I think this is a moment that most people need to have. Some people get really lucky and they get their pro card, their first national show, which holy cow, you're a superhuman. That is not my story. That is not my journey. So I think I needed to be in the situation where I was literally one place away. I flew somewhere and focused for such amount of time, and this was the end of my season, and that's what needed to happen. I think whatever the plan was for me and my story, maybe it's to relate to people who have been there, but now I can say I have absolutely been crushed. I mean, I found Connor and I wish I could replay it for you, but also not really because I mean, to cry into your partner and be like, I missed it by one is so heartbreaking. But you know, you feel the feelings and then you move forward and then you choose to be proud of what you did accomplish that day, which is still third freaking place at USA's. And I think it took me a little bit to get there, but we got there. That's the important part. So that is the takeaway from my placing. That wasn't going to be the main theme because, again, if you've been here for a while, placing isn't necessarily how I define success. Yes, was pro card my goal? Totally. Would I have loved to just wrap 2024 in a cute little bow of new homeowner and new IFBB Pro in the same week? Abso-freaking-lutely. But, you know, it's just not my time. And that just means that when it is my time, it's going to be extra sweet. So I did want to talk about today, though, despite things ending not in the way you anticipated, that sometimes you have to be self-aware enough to know that, all right, yes, can I physically drive this car further? Probably. But is it time for me personally, my relationships, my home life, my work life, my podcast life, to maybe put the heels on hold until next year? Yeah. So I wanted to come on here and be open and vulnerable and to say that it's really hard. And I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. Right now, with where I'm at, I think about it all day. I go back and forth between feeling disappointed, sometimes jealous, and I hate admitting that because I'm ultimately always proud of everybody who won. But yeah, you have a moment where you're like, dang, you know, I wish that was me, but good on them. They look freaking amazing. You know, yeah, I'm human. That emotion has been in there. I had some moments of frustration. Like I said, I was sad. I cried more than once. I don't know. I think it's just so valuable to be honest about that because I think most people just kind of share on social media the place that they've gotten to. And that's the whole, I'm gracious to be here. I'm so proud of myself, yada, yada. And yeah, all that is true. But I'm also here to tell you that it's a long process and I may be there for 5 minutes, but then I might have another moment where I'm like, oh man, shoot. I'm Googling shows about what's next year and what's the order and, what national shows am I interested in next year. And then I have another moment of, no, Shannon, you, you can focus on other things right now. That's healthy. You need to. Friends, family, diversifying your food. So hopefully, I know I'm kind of circling around here, but hopefully somebody out there appreciates the fact that even someone 10 shows deep, yes, do I know myself? Do I know my triggers? Do I know this process? Have I stepped away for preseason before? Yep. Does it get any easier? No. Because the longer you're in it, the more you invest and the more you improve. And I hate saying this, but the hungrier you are and the closer you are. I mean, to be that close to where the last 30 seconds you're rotated out. I mean, gosh dang. But you know what? How freaking cool that the judges thought it was that close. And I think that's the part that I have to keep reminding myself and not fixating because if I'm going to total full send here and be a human, my first instinct was to overanalyze what did I do wrong? Why did they rotate me out? And if I were my best friend and I heard how I was talking to myself and, crying backstage and thinking, what was it that I did? What was it that I did? I mean, God, I just want to give myself a hug because that's so unfair to think that anything is our fault ever like that. You give your best, you show up, you stay optimistic and you stay a good freaking sport of the people who did win around you. And hopefully that message resonates with somebody today. Trying to think if there's anything else about that show that I wanted to share. It was a really great show. Like I said, it was smaller than 2022, but I mean, the competition was thick. Class A, Class B. I don't think I've ever seen that many competitors in those classes. Usually Class C is the monster as far as how many numbers, and we weren't the biggest this time, which was insane. I'm literally on the video. Oh, you can't see it. This lighting is an anabolic lighting, guys. I will say, while I'm talking about this, okay. So part of the reason why I've been reluctant to record YouTube videos is Connor and I, for the last 4 years and some change, have lived in sub 800 square feet, which means I don't at the moment have an office. It's literally our common area, our bathroom, and our bedroom. And if you listen to the very beginning, you know that my first episode I recorded in our closet, which was not a good long-term strategy. So I'm literally in our open area and trying to make it look like it's like a secluded podcast area. But I'm so excited in our new home. We are going to have, gosh, Connor loves me. He's letting me have 2 woman caves. So there's going to be the podcast room, which is going to be so dope because there's going to be a little podcast area for when I have in-person guests. I'm going to have a little posing area. So that way my ladies that are doing posing prehab with me, you can either come see me for an in-person session or I'll be posting videos within my posing room of tips and tricks. As well as my check-ins are going to be there. It's going to be cute. I've got some ideas, but if you guys have some ideas about my little podcast woman cave, let me know. Especially if your nature is interior decorating or if you have experience with graphic designs. I'm going to make a big banner in there. It's going to be so exciting. So trying to also focus on that. I think whenever we're stepping off the stage, thinking about all the things that you are excited to do that don't necessarily revolve around food, because I think that also helps with the preseason mentality of it's not that you're not training for something, it's just that you are rounding out the areas in your life that maybe could use a little bit of TLC. So for me, that's going to be my podcast, moving in to our new home that is greater than 800 square feet. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Married people here. So I said 800 square feet, right? And I said bathroom, not plural, right? Can you imagine? Oh, can you imagine? 4.5 years essentially of timing our bathroom times. And if any of you are married to a poopy doopy husband like I am, this is what he gets for not recording with me tonight. I'm going to put him on blast. This man is so sorry, TMI, so regular that he he says he gets puppy bladder. He's got to go so many times a day. So it's like if you've ever been there before, you have one bathroom and you see your man is on a mission and he's going to use the bathroom and he's going to be in there for a while because he's going to be on his phone for like 20 minutes first and you got to mad dash past him to get in there because you're like, I just need to pee. Let me go first. Yeah, so I'm, you know, so many things I never knew I'd be sharing on this podcast. I didn't think that was one of them. I'm so excited for us to not have one bathroom anymore. We're going to have three bathrooms and a podcast cave. So I'm really grateful for those things. And I'm really excited to spend more time with my friends and my family. I feel like, gosh, that's another thing. So many of you, even listeners of the podcast I've never met before, have been so supportive and so sweet. And I can't tell you how much it means to me whenever you message me saying you like listening to the journey, you like following or hearing my stories. Cause sometimes, like my bathroom story right there, I don't know. I'm just sharing it with you like you're my friend. So I appreciate that you all are so sweet and supportive and you vocalize the things that you appreciate and that you gain from this podcast. And I really appreciate that because it does let me know what things to maybe share more of because sometimes I don't know. It's unless someone tells you, "Hey, I'm struggling with this," or "Hey, can you do an episode on this?" or I really appreciate when you talk about your tips with eating or how you stay consistent in the off season or how do you work on your own posing or how do you get over show jitters, anything like that. It is so helpful when you share it with me because I don't always realize what's valuable to other people. And I think that's something that we all can relate to. But thank you all for being so incredibly supportive and wishing me luck. So many messages before show days and after show days throughout, wanting me to share. I can't tell you how much that makes me feel loved. And I hope that every time I respond to you all that you know how much I appreciate you for reaching out because it's really sweet. So, yeah, I want to create more space for you all. I want to bring more to this podcast. I want to start creating more of those products that I have had in my mind, in my dreams for a while now, and just giving a bit more time back to the people that have showed me nothing but love, like my friends and family. So, if you are struggling with transitioning to the preseason, let me know. We can share some words of wisdom together and I can share some tips with you. Otherwise, speaking of rounding out our lives, I think I'm going to start packing up a couple boxes because you know what they say about one day at a time. I'm just going to do 2 boxes at a time. Otherwise, we're going to be moving that week and I'll be like, oh my God, so much to pack. So, yeah, I think that's about it, everyone. I hope that you all are having a fabulous start to your week and I'll keep you posted on how things progress. But otherwise, I think that's all I have to say tonight. So I will talk to y'all later. Make sure to follow all of the shenanigans on Instagram. Please submit those anonymous Doctor in a Bikini inquiries. I feel like it's going to be really cool the more we develop that, just to create an anonymous space for people to share their stories, as well as any requests you have for episodes or posing prehab content. Talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.